I'm Carlton Sharp, pastor of Faith Christian Center Church, right here in Beaumont, Texas. And we're here on what's happening in our neighborhood. And today my special guest is Assistant Chief of Police, Jim Clay. Welcome back.
Well, thank
Chief.
you for having me today. I appreciate you.
Hey, listen, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the crime rate.
Well, you know, there's a lot of talk lately about violent crime, especially here in the city of Beaumont. And, you know, this is something that it's in the news all the time. We're on a 24-hour news cycle. There's nothing that happens that you don't know about it. Everything's posted on Facebook the minute it happens.
Yeah.
And again, if you're the victim, it's the most important thing that's happened to you, and we understand that and we realize that. But we also want the public to realize too that crime today is better than it was in the past.
Yeah.
You know, the city of Beaumont, population-wise, has not really changed in the last 60 years.
Wow.
So when we look at the crime rate, you know, it's based on the number of crimes per 100,000 population. The city of Beaumont stayed around this 115, 120,000 population since the early 60s. But the surrounding area has grown tremendously. And so when you bring in those hundreds of thousands of people in our Golden Triangle area that all come to Beaumont to shop, to work, to dine, you know, our population is greater than our 100,000 that we show on the census. So with that increased population, there will be a change in the crime rate. But we've kept it, it's been pretty consistent since about 2000. It fluctuates every year up and down. As we look at history for the last, you know, 30 years here in Beaumont or so, our crime rate in 1992 peaked.
As a matter of fact, we have the graph board right now so that people can see where it was.
So, you know, as we look at the crime in 1992, it's decreased dramatically since that time period. But people didn't hear about it in 1992.
Yeah, because it wasn't social media like it
wasn't
was.
social media. There wasn't 24-hour news stations. So, you know, again, we're not saying that crime's not a problem. It's just that the perception of crime, it's not as bad today as it was back then.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're watching Facebook Live, Facebook and all of the other social media outlets, Twitter and all that, you would think that, I mean, we are in such an epidemic that, I mean, you can't even go outside. Right,
and if we look at our numbers for from January through August of 2018, we're actually down 1% on violent crime and down 14% on property crimes. So again, it is an improvement from last year. We're working diligently to solve cases. We recognize that we have work to be done, and we need the community's help for that.
Now, I must applaud you because, you know, I mean, what you guys do to solve the crimes really depends on the assistance that you get from the community.
Right. Not only from the victims, but the witnesses, the community. You know, we're not eyes and ears everywhere, and we depend on that community involvement to assist us in solving these crimes. And Crime Stoppers, you know, has been a big benefit for us because people can report things anonymously.
So what happens when, let's just say, a victim decides that they don't want to report the crime or be a witness for the crime? What happens in those cases?
Well, it makes it very difficult on the police because the crime still gets reported, it still gets documented, we still try to investigate what we can, but without victim cooperation it leaves us little to do as far as to solve the case. We definitely require victim cooperation, and what we don't want is to have a victim take matter in their own hands. Let the criminal justice system work. We know it's not perfect, but we have a process in place, and we need to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Now, when you talk about victim cooperation, explain to the public what you mean by that.
Well, there's times where someone's seriously injured, being assaulted, and the police arrive, and they don't want to tell us what happened. They don't want to file charges. You know, we even had one incident where the person wanted to speak to their lawyer instead of speaking to the police.
Wow.
So we understand that on occasion, people that may be a victim of crime may be involved in criminal activity themselves, but that's not our priority. Our focus is taking care of that victim,
right,
trying to solve that particular crime, anything that they've been involved in is secondary at that time.
Wow, wow. Okay, but now the police department is more than just about solving crimes, because you guys are also in the community.
Oh, definitely. Again, one of the things that we need is community support, and the way we do that is to be heavily involved with community activities. So we have a lot of different community programs, everything that's from reading to the first and second graders in the schools, we have high school programs, college programs. You know, we're still trying to reach out to all areas of the community to let them know that the police are there to support them, and that we need their cooperation.
And that's important because, you know, in some communities, let's be quite honest, they see the police as almost the enemy versus somebody that's there to help us.
Right, and we have a lot of programs that we're trying to do outreach and working with community groups. We work with our clergy and our pastors throughout the whole city,
right.
To bring awareness to what's going on and to build that cooperation. Again, we have a clergy and police partnership within the police department that involves a clergy academy that the clergy come out and they can do ride-alongs with officers in the field. And that's an important part for everybody to see kind of both perspectives, but also it's important for the community to see the clergy out there with us side by side.
Yeah. Do you have the Citizens Police Academy?
Right. We offer Citizens Police Academy twice a year that's open to the public. Anyone can come. It's free of charge. It's on Thursday nights. And again, it's an opportunity to see every aspect of the police department, meet investigators, discuss their job, why we do the things we do, and again, it's just an opportunity to give people an inside look of what we do on a day-to-day basis.
Then you have the neighborhood associations, and you already mentioned the Beaumont Crime Stoppers.
Right. Our neighborhood associations, we have about a dozen or so within the city that are active, that meet on a monthly basis. And when we have these community meetings, officers are there to provide crime information, what's going on in their particular neighborhood, and we want everyone to be involved in solving the problems in their own community.
Now, what about this Police Explorer?
Police Explorer program? We have it's a division of exploring, or the Boy Scouts, but it's a co-ed unit that's caters to high school age students. I think it's age 14 to 20 or 21, and basically they come out and meet once a week. They learn police skills. It's almost like a little, they have officers come out and teach them about investigative techniques, how we operate in patrol, de-escalation techniques, how to deal with disagreements and disturbances. And so what we want to do is get these kids involved in a possible career in law enforcement.
Wow.
And every year we always seem to hire, you know, one or two that was previously in our program, because they see all the different things that police do, and they understand that this career is more about working with the community than it is enforcement.
Yeah.
Again, we're always looking for people that have good communication skills, because that's what we do. We deal with people.
Right,
we need people that can get out there and work in the community and get the job done.
Yeah. Now, if you don't like people, I don't think you should be a police officer. I mean, this is a people business. I mean, you
that's
deal with
correct.
the public on a daily basis.
On a daily basis, and we're here. You know, people call us when they're in crisis. People call us when things go wrong, and we're there to try to support them, to help sort the situation out, give as much guidance as we can to solve the problems. But again, this is a public service
right
crew. I mean, truly a public service career, because again, we're there each and every day to help the community.
Now, you have an upcoming event coming called Cops and Kids.
Correct. We're having a Cops and Kids Carnival. We do that every year. This year it'll be October 27th at the Beaumont Civic Center from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is a great opportunity to bring your kids out. There'll be entertainment, there are rides, food, drinks, candy. You know, it's a big event for the kids, and what it's really big for is to get our officers there interacting with kids on a one-on-one basis in a positive environment.
And you are expecting about 4,000 people to come out and be a part of that.
That's correct. Each year we have about 4,000 people attend, and again, it's all the different units within the police department will be there. You'll get to see police equipment, sit on a police motorcycle. The officers have a great time with the kids, and it's a good opportunity for the kids to interact with the officers there.
Now that's going to be on October the 27th at the Beaumont Civic Center from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. So listen, parents, if you're looking for an activity for your child to do on October the 27th, this is the place to bring them. Now listen, also, those business persons who are watching today, you can also become a sponsor of the Cops and Kids program. There's different levels, tiers of sponsorship, and all you have to do is just go to the Beaumont, Texas.gov website and go to the police department, look under Cops and Kids, and you can become a sponsor. So you need sponsors.
We need sponsors. We don't use tax money for this program. This big event is funded strictly by donations from the community, and again, it's a great opportunity to give and for us to give back to the community too.
Now again, that's October the 27th, 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock at the Beaumont Civic Center. Now, Chief, also, what I didn't know is you also have a police museum.
We have a police museum. It's at one time the police department ran their own jail in the basement of the police station, and so we've now turned that into a museum, and it basically catalogs the history of the Beaumont Police Department for the last 150 years, and we have photographs, memories, everything that that we've kind of kept all these years. So we have it on display, and it's available for tours. Groups can call our Police Community Relations Unit to set up a tour.
So do you have that number available that we can call? Or would you just go to the website?
Go to the website. I don't have the number off the top of my head.
Okay, you can go to the website. Then go to the website again. Go to BeaumontTexas.gov. Then go to the police department, and you can find all the information on that. But now, as we get ready to close this, Chief, you also are recruiting.
Oh, we're definitely recruiting. We're always hiring. There's always a turnover of officers. I think we have 4 openings right now. We'll probably have another 3 or 4 before the end of the year with retirements. So we're always looking for good men and women that want to serve the community. So if you have anybody in mind that you would want coming to your aid in a time of crisis, that's the kind of people we're looking for. And you can go to our recruiting page on the Beaumont Police Department through the City of Beaumont website, and it outlines the entire process from the application to the requirements to the testing.
Yeah, so I mean, it's very simple. Just if you go to the website, and you'll see all the information about how you apply to become a Beaumont police officer. And I mean,
it's a great career. I've been here 34 years. 34 years.
So you might be getting ready to retire too. So they might need a new assistant chief real soon.
Well, not going to say what I started making when I came to work here, but the starting salary today is over $58,000 a year.
Really?
So it's a good paying job, excellent benefits, great retirement, and you don't get that just anywhere.
Hold up, Chief. Hold up. I mean, the starting salary is $58,000.
That's correct.
Wow.
So if you want to get out and do something different each and every day, this is a great career. I know I started out in an office job before I came to the police department, and I said that's not for me. I like to be with people each and every day, and I like a challenge each and every day, and this has been a great career for me.
Now, of course, you have to fill out the application. I'm going to tell you what the process is because I'm looking at it right now. There's a job-related abilities test, so you have to take a test. You're going to have a background test, right?
Background check, that's correct.
Yeah, they're going to check your background.
That's correct.
So, and while we're talking about that, this is why the young people who may be watching, if you have a desire to be in the police department, you might want to keep your record clean.
That's correct. I think, what happens so many times is you have to be 21 to be a police officer. So in those years leading up to that, people make poor choices sometimes, and that does affect their career. Most times, we can overcome that. We do have some time limits for things, activity, drug use and things. After a period of time, you can be eligible again, but there may be a period of time where you may have to wait. But the thing is when you're looking at a career, again, this isn't something that you do for a year or two. This is not something that you do for a job. you know, this isn't about a paycheck. This is about public service and serving your community, and we want people that are dedicated to that.
Now, we're not just talking about speeding tickets. We're talking about background.
No, we're talking about felony arrest, drug use, some things that may prohibit you from coming to work. A lot of those things prohibit you from being licensed by the state. So it's not just our requirements, because you become licensed by the state and you can go to work anywhere in Texas. But what we really need to look at is you know, getting people to apply, going through the process. I'll tell you, we'll have 200 applications for these 6 or 7 positions. But in reality, by the time people either don't show up for testing, don't pass the testing, don't pass the background, we may only interview 15 people.
Wow, out of the 200?
Yeah, so again, we want the best, and we're looking for the best. And we know there's a lot of qualified people out here that may not have thought about this as a career, but it's a great career opportunity. We have a lot of community support here in Beaumont, and we're going to continue to work on that.
Well, listen, I want to thank you. So again, there's the information on the bottom of the screen that just left off, but it's going to come right back. If you go to BeamontTexas.gov, then go to the police department, you'll find all the information about all the programs that are happening over at the police department. And listen, as the chief said, our crime rate, you know, has basically stayed the same over the years. Of course, in '92 it peaked, but now it's at a level. But because of our social media, it seems as if there's more crime than ever before. Yes, if you are a victim, yes, that you know it personally. But the police department still needs your assistance. They need your help in solving the different crimes that happen in our community. So I mean, if you have information, you can even go to the website and report it online. You know, so it's not like you don't have all the technology is there for you to be able to share with the police department. Also, all of the community affairs event things that they're doing, the cops and kids, the community affairs department, the museum, and even the recruiting. If you want to be a police officer, now is the time to submit your application. Go online again. Go online again. Everything is online. Everything. I mean, everything is online. There it is again. BeamontTexas.gov. Click on the police department, and you can have it. I want to thank the chief for coming today to share with us on what's happening in our neighborhood. And I want to thank you for joining us. And we will see you next time on our broadcast.
Shot fired.
Officer needs assistance.
We're having a description of the shooter.